In previous videos, I reviewed two lovely reproduction custom shop Fender Stratocasters based on 50s and early 60s specification. In this video, I take a look at a more modern Stratocaster and ponder the question, does it still feel connected to its historic origins? Hello viewer, my name's Stu, and as always, if you're new to the channel, I do recommend you take a look at my channel playlists, and that will cover my return back to playing and recording guitar. Lots of videos there. Now, some of you have been in touch with me and giving me some feedback on ideas regarding how I present a given product. So thank you, I appreciate it. And because folks have different reasons for watching YouTube videos, I'm going to make some changes in how I do present things, and I'd love to hear your feedback. So, number one, I'll go straight to the point regarding what the item is and what I'll be reviewing, unboxing in my music journey. So various angles and close-ups of what the product will be all about. Number two, I'll promptly demonstrate the product. For example, if it's a guitar, I'll play a general series of chords and a simple lead style riff where that's applicable, putting it up against another product for reference. At the same time, I'll reference a given amplifier used and its settings just to help some folks. Number three, I'll express anything that I might personally feel, and that might have a bearing on someone else looking to purchase a similar product, so I'll do that. And finally, number four, for those still watching and who'd like to hear a little bit more from my perspective as someone coming back to playing and recording guitar at my age, I'll go into my own personal likes and dislikes. And once again, that will be in a bid to give a bit more context to a particular product. So without further ado, number one. In regard to all the unboxing videos that I've done to date, when the doorbell rang, the courier was delivering the very first musical product that began my journey back to playing guitar just a few years ago. Here you see it comes in a black hardshell, lightweight 88 molded military grade polyethylene case, and inside is this beautiful guitar in a deep rich three-tone sunburst finish, a Stratocaster Professional. It's the Mark I version, and as you can see, it sports two single coil and a humbucking pickup configuration. It was first introduced in 2017, replacing the standard series of guitars, which had been around since 1987, and today we have the Professional 2 series, which was introduced in the late 2020s. Now, this particular Stratocaster is actually a limited edition run in this rich three-tone sunburst, which is laid over an older body and of course an HSS configuration. Now, the finish is a polyurethane as opposed to the nitrocellulose, and therefore it's very hard wearing, but it's not impervious to getting scratched or chipped, so you still got to look after them. Having reviewed my two nitrocellulose relic Stratocasters, you might wonder if I've got any thoughts in regard to the different finishes and how they might affect the tone. Now, I'll talk about that nearer the end of the video. Here you see we have a maple neck, which is a modern deep C, and it's coated in a satin urethane. Now, it's actually very nice to play and it doesn't get sticky at any point. The fingerboard is rosewood with 22 narrow tall frets and a scale length of 25.5 and a radius of 9.5. Again, it sports a bone nut, and it has the Fender standard cast tuning machine pegs, and I will say it stays in tune very well, even with heavy tremolo use. Now, the hardware is a mix of nickel and chrome. The tremolo system is a 2-point synchronized tremolo with bent steel saddles and a pop-in tremolo arm, and I have to say that's so convenient to use compared to the old screw-in type trem arms. Now, in regard to the pickups, this is what Fender states. The defining feature comes in the form of the new Tim Shaw designed V-Mod single coil pickups, super dynamic and offering a multi-dimensional tone. These pups are voiced individually for each position, mixing Alnico magnet types to produce powerful balanced tones with original Fender secret sauce. Secret sauce, no less. It has an additional Shawbucker humbucker in the bridge, and you get even great tonal variation. With an onboard treble bleed circuit, your tone will remain clear and consistent even when lowering the guitar's volume. And that's actually very true, that does work. This Stratocaster does of course sport the 5-blade selector switch, allowing for those glassy tones in positions 2 and 4. And in regard to the pickguard and control knobs, it's been slightly aged, which is a nice balance. I think the guitar would have kind of had a bit of a cheap look if those parts were bright white. The case it comes in, as mentioned, is a lightweight ATA moulded military grade polyethylene case, and it's finished in black with very nice and easy on the fingers are these chunky lockable catches. Inside it has an attractive grey high quality polyester plush interior with a good sized pocket for all those knickknacks. Again, I really do like this type of case for transporting a guitar. Number 2, how does it sound? Well, I'm using my Blackstar Studio 10 here with a touch of inbuilt overdrive and reverb. It's going to be mic'd up with an MD421 Sennheiser straight into the camera via a little mixer, and I've done absolutely nothing to enhance the audio. Okay. Now I'm first of all going to let you hear the pickups one by one over the 5-blade selector stages, and playing simple chords and a simple lead riff. Then I'll do a direct comparison against the 50s and 60s Stratocasters. So here we are. Test number 1. Chords. Stratocaster 1950s, chords. The Stratocaster 1960s, chords. Stratocaster Pro, lead riff. Stratocaster 1950s, lead riff. Stratocaster 1960s, lead riff. we'll do a comparison side by side, same chords and lead riff. Bear in mind the Pro Strat has a humbucking pickup at the bridge, so that's obviously going to make a bit of a difference. Chords. Lead riff. So number 3, things I'll personally mention that you might want to watch out for. I need to say these 3 Stratocaster guitars all need to be dialed in differently to really get the best out of them, depending on what you're looking for. So setting the amplifier in a very general way with all the controls full up on the guitar it's not going to be the way people will play these things. That's not the best way to get the tone out of the guitar, but we've just done this so that you get some idea of what these things sound like. And also another thing that we need to bear in mind here is playing style. It's going to have quite a big bearing on how each guitar sounds. Put this guitar into the hands of 10 different guitar players and they'll kind of give it a little bit of a different tone. So what am I saying? I'm saying these guitars are all great to play, and it's down to what gels with you personally and the way you'll set your amp to suit what you're after. Tweaking here and there and adding a bit more overdrive, you know what? You can get them all to sound pretty similar. The Shawbucker or Humbucker, of course, does give you that extra boost. So that, of course, is a deviation from the other 2 guitars. But all things being equal, does the poly finish make a difference compared to a nitro finish when it comes to tone? I own a few nitro finish guitars, and I do think there is a tonal difference. But again, we come back to amplifier settings, effects pedals in use, just to name a couple of things that can alter the tone, let alone the messing around that you can do in a recording environment. And it's all personal choice. Number 4, likes and dislikes. What do I like? It's a very comfortable guitar to hold and to play. It feels and sounds like a Stratocaster, but it feels different from my 50s and 60s models. Now, of course, there are a number of obvious reasons for that. such as body sculpting. That's changed over the years, neck profiles and fret wire used, but the point I suppose I'm trying to say is the Stratocaster Pro feels like a modern guitar, which is of course Fender's intention. Its physical presence in my hands, held close, it does feel different. Not in a bad way, it just feels a little bit different from the older style of guitars. Does it feel disconnected from its historic origins? Some might say, yes, it does. I'm not sure. Kind of yes and no. It also has a modern tone to it. And here is where I would say, this is why I have this guitar. It fits a little better into that spot where I need a guitar for studio recording. It's a bit like the PRS mentioned in a previous video. These are guitars that are easier to work with in a studio setting for certain compositions. Probably more modern compositions, I should say. The humbucker at the bridge, I find it very useful, but care needs to be taken because it can sound shrill if you've got too much treble on it. Having said that, if I really wanted a Stratocaster style guitar that was more in line with the way modern guitars are built today, then I would actually look to another manufacturer. Certainly, I've had my eyes on various models from the likes of PRS, Ibanez, and some others. Again, this is for my recording work, which is very different from just guitars I like to pick up and just jam with. So what do I dislike? I think the quality of fret finishing could have been a lot better. Really could have been. Certainly on this particular guitar, your experiences with these models might be different. It's not bad, but it could be better. I've played guitars that are less expensive, and they've actually had far better finished work than this. Also, I had to do a wee bit of work to stop this guitar from fretting out or choking in the higher areas of the neck. And, you know, that was quite disappointing. Again, I say this because I've played cheaper instruments without those issues. So, do my Fender Custom Shop guitars have those problems? Not at all. They're all very nicely done. So quite frankly, for the cost involved for this USA built instrument, I find that poor. Again, maybe I just got a guitar that was not quite as well finished, and anybody else out there, maybe yours is perfect. Now, I will say I have the guitar set up the way I want it now. I did that myself, but as I said, you know, you shouldn't need to do that. So that's that. Final personal thoughts. As Stratocasters were my most favourite guitar back in the 1970s, it was an obvious choice when I decided to return to playing guitar after a 40-year break. But coming back to the world of guitars was a real eye-opener. There were just so many products out there to choose from, and quite frankly, I found it quite overwhelming. Be interested to hear your views on that. I had no idea that my music journey was going to bring me to where I am now. So in some respects, my journey has kind of been a bit of an evolution and a bit of a surprise to me. I say that because my sole intention, and it still is my sole intention, was to come back to writing and composing and recording. It was not intended to be about collecting, with a small c, collecting music gear. But this journey has taken different paths, and at the end of the day, it's been really enjoyable. Now, as I've already reviewed my two other Stratocasters, the late 64 being my top favourite for me, why did I purchase a modern Stratocaster model at the outset of my guitar journey? And what's really amusing is this modern USA Pro was made in 2019, and it's actually older than my 1950s and late 64 Stratocasters, since they're both reproductions made in 2022. Kind of ironic in a way. All in all, the three Stratocasters are very different from one another, and each has its own place in my studio. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and perhaps it's been helpful for some. In the next video we do some more unboxing. This time, does the way the wood gets treated really make a difference to a guitar's tone? We'll find out. Please do subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications, like and share. Always nice to hear of others' experiences, so please do comment below. Do check out my channel playlists, which cover my journey back to playing and recording guitar after that 40-year break. So, whether you're a newcomer, an ongoing player, or like me, just an old hand returning to guitar playing, I always take time to engage with folks who take time to comment. So, until next time, the journey continues. Do take care.